All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. We're fantastically happy to see you all at Decisions Days. We're the solutions team. We'll be presenting leveraging pre-built applications using accelerators with your projects. And we will intro. My name is Morgan Russell, and green hair match. You can find me wherever. Just let me know. I'm the solutions architect lead. My pronouns are they, them. And I'm joined here with our fantastic solutions project manager, Ali DeSantis. And we're going to guide you through what we've built. We've got a nice agenda planned out. So first, we're going to say, what is the solutions engineering team? We're not customer facing, usually, so you might not have heard of us, but we have been in existence for a little bit. Next, we're going to talk about, come on in, you're all good. Next, we're going to talk about the projects that are already released into the App Store, ready to download. Then, after going through those projects, we're going to give a brief demo of two of the projects that combo nicely together. Following that, we will be talking about the future community site and the App Store Marketplace that's coming down the road. Then we've got partner collaboration, what we've already done, what you can do, what you can look forward to. And then lastly, the roadmap. So what are the next couple projects that we're planning on building and releasing to the App Store? So who are the solutions engineering team and what do we do? So we're a team that is dedicated to building individual small pain point projects and making them generic so that you can use yourself in your environment, something to build off of, something to learn from. And it's in any kind of industry pain point. There's lots of decisions pain points as well. Certain things are difficult to build, and that's what we target there. So we're just a team of developers. We've got some architect leads. We design the projects all ourselves, build them out, put them in the App Store, and we'll talk about what those projects look like on our next slide here. I'll turn that over to Ali, or is this me? No, that's still me. I don't know. Yep, so the actual projects that go into the App Store are the Decisions accelerators. We recently rebranded them, so if you heard about a possibility, that's what we've rebranded to now as accelerators, mostly because they speed up your use case, your value, reducing your time to value here. So these are all multi-purposes, encouraging projects. You could use it for a demo, a trial, training for best practices. Everything here we have gone through and documented, put in your flow descriptions, unit tests as needed, and all built on the latest version of Decisions when we built it. So all of the ones that we have in the App Store now have been built on versions of 8 and up, just when they've released. And they're all available at no additional cost in any Decisions environment. Version 8 and up is where you can get those in that My Apps folder in their Decisions Studio. There is a setting that you can use to turn off the My Apps folder, so if you can't find it, that might be what's going on in your environment. All of these are paired up with documentation that's on our doc site, and we'll show you a little later if you have questions on where to get to that documentation. But they're all paired with a nice user manual to guide you through how to use it. And now I will hand it over to Ali for what's released in version 8.
Thanks, Morgan.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to talk about what has been released for our V8 or newer platform users. First off, in our financial services focused accelerators, we launched our loan calculators to assist with commonly used complex formulas in lending, finance, and loan servicing industries. We also did our wire transfer approval application, which uses integrations with critical databases such as OFAC and core banking systems to authenticate and verify individuals looking to send domestic and international wires. It's built to comply with BSA and AML regulations and ensures that transaction management is in compliance. We also released our scorecard wizard, which is a customizable tool that uses rules and weights to optimize decisioning in the underwriting process. But it can also be adapted for any industry looking to evaluate any source of data to produce a recommendation in a decisioning process.
Awesome. So we also have some cross-industry applications that we've released. This is just a highlight of a few ones. We'll demo a few other ones. At the top, we've got our digital ads optimization. That, what you've heard at the keynote, kind of relates to it. Based off of what our marketing tech team built, we went ahead and genericized it, put it in a little packaged up project to give us the connection between Google Ads and Salesforce for lead management. So essentially you're training that Google Ads algorithm of what makes a good lead for you. You define those rules in it. Those rules are run through with the data that you pull down, what you get from your Google lead, who's clicked what, send it back up to train it based off of your criteria that you said, yeah, that is a good lead. I do want to value it at this rate. Comes with some dashboards here, as you can see, and it is a really nice system for that kind of marketing lead management. Following that, we have our sightings tracker. This one's kind of a more fun one. We built it out for our in-house use at Decisions as a customer sighting. So anytime we see a customer use case in the wild, we want to take a picture of it and share it with the team and say, hey, look how cool. Just at the other hotel across the street, there was an Otis elevator, and I was like, nice. Take your picture of it. You can upload it there. We have it hooked up so it posts then to Slack. But this project alone just kind of tracks those. You're able to upload a photo, give it a description, and it tracks the sighting. So you could track anything based off from customers, from pictures of Will that are silly, to Bigfoot or cryptids if you like. It's generic in that use case. Following that, we've got our revisions automated testing, also known as RAT. That one was recently demoed by our VP of Customer Success and Experience, Will, on a demo last week, I believe. This one allows you to take a synchronous process and kind of iterate on it, connecting up an input flow and a main wrapper flow using JSON deserialization to move that information along. Make a change to it, run a test again, and then you see what those changes hooked up to the results that you connect. So that one does have the most out-of-the-box dev work that you'll need to do, but it comes with thorough instructions, as you can see in this very beautiful big annotations there. That flow gets dropped in for your creation for your wrapper flow, and you build it from there. And I think from there, we're going to demo two other ones. These ones were recently added to the App Store as well. We have CSS generator and the dynamic questionnaire, and we're going to demo them in that order. Let me find my mouse. So, excuse me, we're going to have to switch over our views.
Yeah, swap our views so that we can show you all the cool stuff.
I can get my mouse to, there we go. Yeah, so we're going to be duplicating our displays. And just give me one moment, gang, as we open this up. Changes. We've only tested a few 5 times, and it still likes to be rude to us. No? Okay, no, we're good. This button. Okay.
Got it.
No. No, it reverted back. All right, one moment there. Again. Duplicate it. We're keeping it. We're going back to here. Okay, super cool. So I click on that. We're going to show off first the CSS generator. This one was a revamp of an old project. Ooh, excuse me. Revamp of an old project we built a while ago that was internally used by PS and other team members, but never was boxed up nice to give to everyone. So now we've got it on the App Store so anyone can download it. It's essentially a flow that allows the user to go through, name your CSS, and pick all the color customization, so you don't have to understand CSS to make that sheet and apply it to your project. So let me name this demo purple. And you get to pick all the colors that you would define in a CSS sheet. I'm going to keep the form background white. We're going to make the font color a dark purple, secondary color. We're doing a fun yellow. And in primary color, we'll do an additional fun purple. And there's a lot of fun settings for it. You can apply defaults to just have some colors off the bat without making any changes. Everything here you can easily adjust. Background color for your controls, the border for your controls, the width, height, the actual color of the border, whatever you want to customize here, you can. So we've got the headers for the CSS classes that come with it. Next up, we've got our buttons. We can apply our defaults here. Again, all this is customizable as you move through it. I like an all caps button. I don't have time to complain too much about it, but default decisions button needs a little styling love, so that's why we love to put some color on it. Let me change some of our button colors here to match what we're going for. And we'll do a yellow. And our background color here. Once you've got what you want, actually, different yellow. it's easy to come in and change that. Next up, you've got some tiles. So out of the box, if you want to put some styling on a page, these come based off of the colors you selected previously. You could change the border width, the icon color there as well. And then lastly, you get a preview of those selections that you've made. So you can decide, okay, I don't actually want this. Let me go back and change some things. But if you're ready to go, you like what you see here, you're easily able to download the file. If you want to save it, make changes to it for later. You can also directly save it to the environment that you are building on, which is what I just did there, since we're going to use it for the for the dynamic questionnaire build. So let me go ahead and open us into that next one. So dynamic questionnaire is a bigger build, because if anybody here has built a questionnaire, it takes a lot to get the mixed type repeater to behave. So one of the things we want to do there is nicely chop it out so that logic can be reused if you wanted to build from it, build anew, just starting from the pieces that it comes with. So it's nicely organized there for us. So here, with the dynamic questionnaire, you start at a template manager. You build your template, and from there you customize by adding questions. So I'm going to go ahead and create our template for our pet survey. Category is just used to kind of distinguish what this was used for. And we'll give it a description. And down here, we've got our style sheet. You can see we got a bunch of help text there, so additional information is provided to you of what it uses. This is the style that actually gets applied when you send a survey to someone. It's going to use this sheet that you select here to actually show in the view. So let me go ahead and grab our demo purple that we just created. And then email style, it also pulls all the options that are in your environment. So we're going to use the default decisions template. Below here, you've got your email body, which goes right above the link that it'll send. So I'll say, please fill this out. And then currency symbol, we've got a currency as a type of question. And so you can pass it in dynamically. You define that currency symbol here. So once you got that all filled out, you're immediately dropped into a place where you can start adding and removing, adjusting questions here. So we're going to go ahead and add a few questions. So first, for our pet survey, we're going to ask for a full name. On this form, you've got a bunch of controls here. You can define whether or not the question is optional or not, whether it's required, means they have to fill it in before it'll let you go to the next page, that data you need. For the type of question, out of the box, it comes with all of these options that were shown here, checkbox lists, currency, some of the ones we've said before. It also has a nice template where you're able to go ahead and start building your new question from as well if these don't suit all the needs that you have. So for this one, we have set up a full name option. So full name, middle, initial. And then you have set and order number. So set is kind of the grouping, the overall grouping of them. So before you hit next, you're on set 1, the first one, then you go to set 2. Set 3 is as many sets as you have there as kind of the form views that you're looking at. The order is exactly how it sounds, the order that they show up on that particular set. So we're going to go ahead and add that one in. And then we're going to go ahead and select a new question. What kind of pet do you have? And for this one, it's going to be a list of options. So we're going to pick the checkbox list for us. But you could do a drop down if you'd rather. Lots of options there for you. So we're going to do dog, cat, bird, and other here for us. There's all the basics there for us. So we've got those 2 questions in. I'm going to go ahead and hit create so we can show you all the next view. So again, this was the template manager. Got some pop-ups letting us know. We're going to go ahead and drill into that particular view. So this is that particular templates page here. So you've got a particular warning. We don't want more than 10 questions per page just for performance based off of how the dynamic dependencies run in the back end. On the side, you can see we've got our preview of the questions we've already added, so you can see how that will run. And you can also preview it with the style that you've selected. So let's go ahead and add a few more questions so we can show y'all the dependencies. So from here, you go ahead and add another question. So this is going to be define other. So this one is going to rely on that other question. We're going to put it in set 1, question 3, defining what other happens there. Next one, we're gonna ask you to upload a picture. This one we're gonna make an optional. Not everybody has a picture of their pet on hand. I know I do of my 2 cats at all times. We're gonna put this one in set 3, add it in there. Just to show off another one, we have what percentage of happiness derived from your pets. And for that one, we're going to use a percentage. Both percent and number, when you select those ones, you get an upper and lower limit that you can define. So we're going to make the lower limit. It's got to be 50% or higher for us here. So we're going to go ahead and add that one. I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, and then one last one if we have time for what type of cat if you selected cat. And we can use this one as a drop-down list. And again, you provide that list then. So, I know ragdoll, orange, and short hair. Perfect for us. And these can be edited later on. Basically, until you launch that live questionnaire, you can come in and add and rearrange your questions. So we've created those. So we've got our preview updated here. Letting you know progress out of 3. That's a setting you can change based off of the template setting, the show progress information. We change that and you see that that is gone. Once you had a bunch of questions in here, it's easier now to see how it's going to behave. You can reorder your questions. So we want to actually add what type of cat to set 2 and quickly just change that and apply changes. It goes ahead and resorts that for us. I think the rest are fine. I need to add one more question. So back into adding it. Again, if you add one here, you can also edit it. Number of pets. And we'll select that number box for us. And I did not put in the right set, so we're going to change it quickly to set 2 and create that one here. So now that we've got a bunch of questions, we know that a few of them relate to each other, and that's the part of the dynamic questionnaire that you want it to kind of live interact with those questions as someone fills it out. So we're going to go over to the dependency tab. You could also do it on this main overview folder as well. Basically select the question that you're going to have relate to another one. You have the right-click action to associate that parent question. So here we just selected that other box question. We're going to go ahead and add a relation to it. First, selecting the parent question. So these are all the questions that came before it are your options here. So we're going to select what kind of pet. And then down below, you can define a custom rule. This dropdown will give you all the ones that are defined already in the system. So it uses a design pattern, so it locks the user into those inputs and outputs, so you don't have to potentially mess anything up with the mapping there. It's all set up for you. So for us, we already have the answer is option, is other rule there defined. You get a preview of it. You could also create a new rule, though, if it's a new dependency that you don't have a rule for already. This allows you to reuse those rules across different question dependencies. So we got that defined. We will save that. Now you see we have a little icon here with that green check to let us know that that one does have a dependency. So now if we select other, we can see that that define other box is now visible. So that's running in the background using active form flows. And then we'll define one more dependency on with the type of cat question, since that's relying on you selecting cat for that first rule, or first question, excuse me there. So what kind of pet? And we want to make a new rule to do answer is cat. So the way this design pattern works, it's just a string that comes in. So its answer string is the input, and the output's either true or false. If it's true, this rule runs true. That means we're going to show that child question. If it's false, we're going to hide that child question. So we're going to go ahead and select our answer string and then have it that it is cat. And hit done for us. And we'll save and close that. And that just opened you directly into this editor directly from that form. So with that selected, we can go ahead and add that one as well. Okay, with all our dependencies in, we can now preview it and close all these for us. So let's preview it with our style and see how it's running for us. So we can go ahead and test it out, put in your data, See how you like it, see how you like the CSS you've selected, define the pet. If we select cat, we know it's on the next question. We'll get our what type of cat. If we go back, we change it to other. We get define other. We go next, we see that type of cat question is now gone since we have not selected that we have a cat. So the styling is a little silly with some of the borders, but we made it for fun. You can upload a pic easily with that control there, and you can set that percentage. And I believe with our limit, it jumps it immediately up to 50 if you try to type in one lower than that. Additional feature we have, if you have more than 2 sets, so if you have a set that's not adjacent to another, you have a go-to function, so a user can quickly just jump to the first page without having to hit back a bunch of times there. But that's setting up the template. Once your template's ready to go, you like everything that's in there, you like the behavior, you tested it all out, you can go ahead and create a live questionnaire. Go ahead in here and we'll make our survey for pets. Contact email is the email address that the emails with the survey link get sent from. So I have an email link copied. Same thing with description, you can provide it or not. Show that progress information bar is that one of 3 pages. You can decide to either have a live questionnaire assigned or unassigned. Assigned means that you'll define a list of people that it gets sent to. Those people will directly get an email. If you have it unassigned, then you just get a URL, and you can take that URL, make a QR code, take that URL, directly send it to whoever you needed. It's not directly tied to an individual already off the bat. So you also have a due date if you do put it as assigned for late emails that send up and say, okay, after this many days, we're going to remind them. Same thing, your CSS and email template came just from what you've already selected on that template. You could optionally give an expiration date in which there's a scheduled job that'll go ahead and close it out. People won't be able to respond to that survey link after that expiration date. So with all that defined, we are going to create that live questionnaire. So in here, since this one is under construction, we have to test it a little bit before we're ready to go ahead and launch it, which means that people can essentially use that link to actually fill it out. So you have Realm in here to test via email. Test in the portal was what we were just kind of doing in the template version of it. Testing an email, you provide the email that you want to send it to. You can see how it actually looks to the end user there. So I just sent it to my emails. We go over here and give it a refresh. We got that pet survey. We know this looks beautiful and safe. You can test out your email template this way, and you can quickly see what that survey is going to look like to the end user as they fill it out. And exactly how it's going to behave for them before you actually launch it. It does have that save and quit feature, which is available for everybody. You have the end screen that shows up. If you have a unassigned, all my tabs, once it is an unassigned live questionnaire, basically an additional form will show just asking the user for their email always, since we're not directly sending it to their email. So in order to record those responses, we ask for that email address. So like everything, we're good to go. We go ahead and launch it. You can give you a last chance to update it. We hit launch for it. Now you have that get questionnaire link where you're able to easily copy that, use it for whatever you need, QR code, or directly emailing it, posting in Slack. You're like, hey, everybody, please fill this out, wherever you want to there. You can also directly send it to people, even though it is unassigned. So you're like, anybody can use this link, but I need 3 or 4 key people too. You can do that as well. And then once you actually do that, you get some results. So let me actually get that link and fill it out for us so we can view the results screen off to the side here for us. So I'm just going to paste running that URL. It's always going to ask you your email address. So this is just recorded so that it can actually keep that data and know who it was from. Scroll all down. It's using that CSS. We'll fill it out again. Any questions so far? We're nearing the end of this demo. No? Okay. If we go ahead and put other, we get our other box. We'll do cat, go to our next page. Pick our type of cat. I do want an orange cat, but I do not have one yet. Next, upload a picture. Let me see if I should have some pictures of my cats. All right. let's do that one. So we have our cats. A percentage only goes up to 100, I believe, so that's what we're putting in for my happiness with my cats. And it gives you, thank you for submission, done, close. And that is the end of that survey. So now when we go back to the environment, we can view that result. We see that KPI updated with the number of completed surveys. So up here, if we had more, you get this chart view of the responses you've gotten based over time. And then at the top, you also have a CSV editor view of those responses, similarly how you get it in Google Forms and such. So from in here, you can view it. You can download all the responses that you have, and it downloads just as an Excel file. Gets you your survey data there that you can open up and use it in any other way that you'd like, chart it up or such. And that's dynamic questionnaire. Sorry, that was a long process. So I'll slide us back over. But both of those are already in the App Store, so definitely check them out and let us know. I'm going to move us
And hopefully you
back
can see
over.
how these will accelerate your projects by not having to build that all out. You can just download that and start your project from there rather than having to create that logic ahead of time. Did you have a question?
I have a question. I would love to see the steps that come with this integration with the toolbox of the Flow Designer. I was particularly thinking about the step that takes the responses of the questionnaire and inserts them into a data structure that probably would not go before.
Gotcha, yeah, using the results of it. Gotcha, yeah. Right now, how this one's, it's using a case and a bunch of simple flow structures for all the flow types. It's one of our more complicated builds for sure, but we do have a full user manual that's getting written up. The doc team is going through it. It's pretty big, so they're writing that currently, but we do have a spec doc and an ERD that we can provide you, and if you'd ever want to let us know, we can talk more in detail about exactly what it was built, what are those data structures, and how it was all put together there. All right, I think, now I'm handing it to you, Allie.
Yeah.
All
see,
right,
we're all
yeah,
working.
that was the hard part. So.
Wrong way. Okay, so awesome. Thank you so much, Morgan. If you do have any other questions and we run out of time today, our team is over at the Ask Anything booth. So if you want to see any demos on any of the other ones that we talked about, we'd be happy to show you a demo, answer any questions. I'm going to fix my screen here real quick.
You gotta get your mouse all the way back over.
There we go.
Thanks y'all for bearing with the technical screen. That was the last screen swap, so we're good now.
All right. I'm super excited to talk about our next initiative. It's much anticipated. We're going to be launching a Decisions community website. So we're going to take a peek at the initiative, and we're going to see how the Decisions community can benefit from what we're hoping to launch soon. The community site will house several resources with a focus on the needs of our community, such as upcoming events, training, newsletters, our forum, our documentation, and then we're adding a new marketplace where our community can share the projects they have built using Decisions. So as I mentioned, the site will be a central location for the Decisions community to share and discuss projects and use cases, facilitate communication across platform users, advertise different features and applications built using the tool, access resources and support, and lastly, the goal of the community site is going to be to accelerate your sales cycles through the marketplace. So in the marketplace, there'll be projects that are showcased by our Decisions community, where users can download or purchase applications from those contributors.
It's a beautiful mock-up so far.
Yes, these are mock-ups because we're
So
not
things
launched
from
yet.
the App Store will go in there. So like we looked at some of the things earlier, we have scorecard, ads, wire transfer. Those will go in there as well as giving room for all these other categories that Allie's going to go into for customer apps, partner solutions, lots of fun.
Yeah. So as Morgan said, there's going to be 4 types of projects. Customer applications are going to be paid package solutions built by our customers and sold through their customer sales team. Our partner solutions is going to be free solutions built by our partner community. Obviously, our Decisions accelerators that my team built, those are in the App Store currently. That's where all of the projects are going to come from onto the marketplace. But those demonstrate the best practices for building in Decisions. They come complete with documentation, and their focus is on, as we've mentioned, accelerating projects by addressing pain points in development and encouraging new use cases. Lastly, there'll be community projects. Those are smaller use case examples by anyone in the decisions community participating on their own behalf.
So that could be an individual developer say, I built this really cool thing. It's this one flow that does this little calculation or this form that makes a magic 8-ball. And you're like, I think other people would like it. Let me go ahead and put it up there.
Yeah, so you'll definitely want to check out what people are contributing and what people are adding, because it might be able to help you in your projects as well. There's going to be a ton of cool features, like links to the contributor's website. So if you're a customer and you want some advertisement, take you right to your website from our marketplace. Self-managed portals for contributors to gain valuable insights and feedback from the community members. You'll be able to manage your application's performance and feedback and respond to requests for more information on that project or some improvements, some enhancements that somebody's recommending in the community. And you can connect with your target users in real time. The expected launch of this website is going to be mid to late summer. So as I said, these are all mock-ups, beautiful mock-ups, because it's not quite built out yet.
It's getting ready to start
But
build
yeah, we
next
start
week.
building next week. So expected launch is mid to end summer. So be sure to watch for more information leading up to the launch. So next we want to highlight a recent collaboration with one of our partners. We partnered with BridgeRM and collaborated with our solutions team to bring a new application to the market. We wanted to combine their expertise in mortgage servicing with our decisions expert developers to develop an accelerated go-to-market strategy. We wanted to take the opportunity to let you know that we want to expand to other partners who have projects that you're interested in accelerating with us. So like we said, we will help plan, we'll architect, we'll run through the whole project life cycle with you in order to get your initiatives advanced a little bit quicker. So there's going to be a process for that. That's coming soon, but we did work with our first kind of pilot experience, and that was BridgeRM. That application is the FHA, First Legal Deadline Management application. And what this application does is it uses real-time surveillance to monitor and calculate the first legal deadline for mortgage servicers. The application eliminates the massive expense for failing to accurately meet the complex calculations that come with that deadline. And this project includes over 1,000 elements, several complex rules, and multiple dashboards with user functions and reporting functionality. So like I said, we helped build this for them. Their ideas, there's expertise in the industry, and then our expertise in building. So this project probably would have taken them, Morgan, what would you say, if they were developing on their own without our decisions expertise?
Maybe a year longer.
A year or longer, as most projects do. So this one is wrapping up in about 6 months, so it's really an accelerated go-to-market strategy for them. We will have information at our booth if you have questions on this application as well. We'll be happy to demo, show you how it works. And then I'll give it back to Morgan for the roadmap.
Cool. Yep. So what's upcoming? If you want to click on it, thanks.
Yeah.
So we've got, yes, thank you,
Yes.
Will. It's all powered
know
by
you
Will.
all
So
like
if you
that.
see him, let him know. It's all thanks to Will. Will is leading up. He's ahead of the solutions totem pole there. So upcoming, we have Asset Manager and Access Manager. They sound very similar, but they are very different. Asset Manager is about moving entities. That entity could be anything, what you want to track, like devices, cars, and hooking them up with entity flows, event flows. So whenever a entity of that type is created, this flow runs. Whenever it's updated, this flow runs. You can also create scheduled jobs via a flow in that project. Access Manager is a really cool set of reports and dashboards where you can view the individual permissions that are tied across your decision server based off of just that account. What can they see based off of an individual group? What do they have access to? And all the different breakdowns, can edit, can view, can see. You can view all that there, as well as take any of the default actions that are tied to that type, like account, group, moving around, and fun. After that, we've got a fun time with ticketing application. This one is kind of revamping, taking a build that we're using for our support ticket system that we run and kind of the dev ticket a little bit there, and making it generic, cleaning it up, and providing it for y'all for a great way to just take a queue, monitor an inbox, create tickets, assign them, manage shifts. Lots of fun in that project. Playbook Manager is connecting up with Salesforce to kick off essentially like assignments in Salesforce that connect with flows. And then we've got Email Template Builder, custom text merges, pretty simple there, just allowing a user to easily add dynamic data into an email template. And then Google Translation Schedule Job is a connection up to Google Translate, going ahead and connecting with our decisions translation backend for it. So everything that you add, that you mark, you want to translate in decisions, instead of you manually going have to say this means this, takes the list of things that you've marked for translate, uploads them through Google Translate, and brings them back in without you needing to do that. That's what we have coming up. But if there's anything else that you're interested in, something that you'd like to see, definitely let us know. Any feedback you have on any of these apps, as you download them, mess with them, please reach out to us. This email pings us all on our team, so accelerators@decisions.com. Let us know if there's anything you'd like to see, additional things, or any help you need, as well as to check out that documentation. It's all on our doc site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to underscore the documentation.
Yeah, documentation is
because
fantastic.
We have very thorough documentation on everything that we've built. And so even if your projects don't apply to any of the things that you've seen here, which I'm sure there's some use case that fits what we're building. But even if not, if there's a piece of those projects that are applicable, you can see how we build it.
Exactly, like, oh, what was that form control or whatever. There's lots of fun information in there for us.
And you do have your experts who know the best way to build in decisions, so whatever they have built out in that documentation is going to show you the best way to achieve it. So we'll open it up. We have about 5 minutes or so for questions. One other thing that we seek from you guys is input on what you would like to see. The My Apps folder, like you know, is in your studio at no additional cost. You get these downloadable, ready to go. So we're always looking for ideas of what you think would help. It can be industry specific, it can be generic. We're open for all suggestions and things that we can do, because our goal is to help you guys be more successful in your projects.
Exactly.
Any questions?
If not, please bother us. You'll see my hair. Just let me know if you have anything. We'll be at the table. So I appreciate y'all attending so much.
Yep, thank you all very much.
Many thanks.